For years, the story of the Brown family has been told through one lens: Cody's. It's been filtered by TLC's editors, shaped by his ego, and stage managed by Robyn. The Brown children, all 18 of them, have largely been props in their father's drama. Their pain, their perspectives, their truths have been silenced. Until now. Tonight, the silence is being shattered by a bombshell announcement that is about to unleash a firestorm on the Brown family from which they may never recover. We can exclusively confirm that a major New York publisher has signed one of the Brown children to a massive 7-figure book deal. This isn't a collection of angry TikToks or a few Patreon posts. This is a legally vetted, professionally published, scorched earth tell-all book that promises to expose the truth behind the sister wives' facade. And the author is the one person Kody and Robyn fear the most: their outspoken, unapologetic, and incredibly perceptive daughter, Gwendlyn Brown. The book, titled Shadow of the Patriarch: My Life Inside the Sister Wives' Lie, is set to blow the lid off 13 years of secrets, lies, and emotional manipulation. We have the inside scoop on the explosive chapters that have Kody threatening lawsuits and Robyn in a state of absolute panic. Before we dive into the secrets that are about to be laid bare for the entire world to read, do me a solid. If you believe it's time for the kids' voices to be heard, destroy that like button and make sure you are subscribed to COCO Gossip with all notifications turned on. You are not going to want to miss one word of this family's public unraveling. All right, let's open the first chapter of the book that will end the Brown family as we know it. First, let's talk about why Gwendlyn is the perfect person to write this book, and why Kody and Robyn are so terrified. It's not just that she's smart and outspoken. It's that she has a unique combination of insider knowledge and outsider perspective. She grew up in the thick of it, but she's also queer, progressive, and has a strong sense of social justice that puts her in direct opposition to Kody's patriarchal worldview. And for the last few years, she's been a public historian of her own family's dysfunction on her YouTube channel, analyzing every episode with a critical eye. She has the receipts, and now she's cashing them in. Her publisher is reportedly positioning this book not just as a reality TV memoir, but as a serious sociological study of a family's collapse under the weight of patriarchy and television fame. Let's break down some of the bombshells our sources say are in the manuscript. Chapter 1. The Queen's Arrival: The Real Story of Robyn's Integration. We all saw the official story. A sweet new wife joins the family. Gwen's book allegedly paints a much darker picture from a child's point of view. She details the immediate shift in the family's resources. Suddenly, there were new, expensive clothes and furniture for Robyn's kids, while the other kids' needs were put on the back burner. She reportedly writes about how Kody's attention, once spread thinly among all the children, was immediately consolidated onto Robyn and her kids. Gwen describes the jealousy and confusion among the other Brown children, who went from being part of a big, chaotic family to feeling like second-class citizens in their own homes, watching a new family form before their eyes. Chapter 2. The Financial Black Box: Where the Money Really Went. This is a huge one. For years, fans have speculated about the family's finances. Gwendlyn's book reportedly blows the door wide open. She writes from the perspective of a child who saw things the cameras didn't. She saw Robyn getting a brand new car while her mom, Christine, drove an old minivan. She heard the hushed, tense arguments about money, the pleas from her mom for help with expenses that were dismissed while lavish purchases were made for Robyn. She reportedly details how the family's pooled income, generated by the hard work of all 4 wives, was systematically funneled to support the lifestyle of one. This chapter isn't just about feelings, it's about numbers and receipts that could have massive legal and financial implications for Kody and Robyn today. Chapter 3. Life Off Camera: The Fights TLC Didn't Show You. This chapter is the ultimate betrayal of the show's carefully crafted image. Gwen reportedly details the screaming matches, the silent treatments, and the toxic tension that filled their homes when the cameras were off. She talks about Kody's rage cycles and Robyn's manipulative tears, which were allegedly used to control situations and win arguments. She exposes how certain storylines were softened or completely ignored by production to protect Kody's image as a loving, if bumbling, patriarch. This chapter promises to reveal that the dark, depressing show we see now isn't a new development. It's just the first time the cameras have finally shown the reality that the children were living all along. Chapter 4. A Queer Girl in Kody's World: My Fight to Be Seen. This is where the book becomes deeply personal and powerful. Gwendlyn writes about her journey of self-discovery as a queer woman inside a fundamentalist patriarchal religion. She details the subtle and not-so-subtle ways her identity was dismissed or ignored. She reportedly talks about Cody's awkward, uncomfortable reactions versus her mother Christine's unconditional love and acceptance. This chapter isn't just an indictment of her father. It's a voice for any child who has ever felt like they didn't belong in their own family. It's a story of finding your authentic self in a world that demands conformity. These chapters alone are enough to cause a family civil war. But it's what happens next that has escalated this from a family drama to an all-out legal crisis. As soon as Kody and Robyn got wind of this book deal, they didn't just get angry. They took action. And their first move was a desperate attempt to silence their own daughter. A tell-all book is one thing, but what happens when the subjects of that book try to kill it before it ever hits shelves? That's where we are now. The news of Gwendlyn's seven-figure book deal didn't just cause hurt feelings. It triggered a calculated, aggressive legal and emotional assault from Kody and Robyn, aimed at one thing: silencing their daughter. Our sources confirm that within days of the publisher's announcement, Gwendlyn received a formal cease and desist letter from a high-powered law firm hired by Kody and Robyn. This legal document is a classic intimidation tactic. It reportedly accuses Gwendlyn of defamation, breach of privacy, and violating non-disclosure agreements she allegedly signed as a minor participant on Sister Wives. The letter demands she immediately halt the publication of the book and retract all false and malicious statements, or face a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Let's be clear about what this is. This is a father threatening to sue his own daughter to protect his public image. He is leveraging his financial power to try and bully her into silence. The NDA claim is particularly slimy, as legal experts will tell you that contracts signed by minors are often unenforceable, especially when it comes to matters of public interest and personal experience. This isn't a strong legal case, it's a scare tactic. But Gwendlyn and her publisher are not backing down. Her publisher's legal team reportedly responded by saying that Gwendlyn's memoir is protected under the First Amendment and that truth is an absolute defense against defamation. They are standing by their author and are fully prepared to go to court. This has now escalated from a family feud to a high-profile legal showdown between a father and a daughter. With a major New York publisher caught in the middle when the legal threats didn't work, Kody and Robyn allegedly moved on to a more insidious tactic: emotional manipulation. Robyn has been sending tearful text messages, not to Gwen directly but to her other siblings, turning them into pawns in her game. The messages reportedly say things like, "How could she do this to the family? Doesn't she know how much this will hurt her little brother and sister? She's tearing us apart for money." This is classic emotional blackmail. Robyn is positioning herself as the heartbroken mother, trying to protect her innocent children, Solomon and Ariella, from their mean older sister. She's attempting to isolate Gwendlyn from her siblings to make them feel guilty for supporting her, and to frame Gwen as the aggressor. Kody, on the other hand, is reportedly on a scorched earth campaign with the older kids. He's been calling the other Brown children, ranting about Gwendlyn's disloyalty and disrespect. He is forcing them to choose a side. Are you with me, your father, or are you with her? This is the ultimate loyalty test, a desperate move from a patriarch who knows he has lost all moral authority and is now resorting to emotional tyranny. But here is where Kody and Robyn's plan has completely backfired. The attempt to divide the children has only united them more strongly against their father. The older children of Christine, Janelle, and Meri have seen this behavior before. They have lived it. They are not falling for it. Paydon, despite his own controversial past, has publicly declared he's 100% Team Gwen. Mykelti is reportedly using her own platform to defend her sister's right to tell her story. And most powerfully, Janelle's sons, Gabe and Garrison's legacy in this fight, see this as just another example of Cody's abuse of control and have rallied around Gwen. They understand this isn't just Gwendlyn's story. It's their story. It's the story of every child who felt neglected, who watched their mother cry, who was told to respect a father who gave them none in return. The publication of this book has become a rallying cry for the forgotten children of the Brown family. And what about Christine? She is in the toughest position of all, caught between her fierce love for her daughter and the storm she knows this will unleash. But while she is heartbroken by the conflict, she will stand by Gwendlyn no matter what. She knows better than anyone the truth of what her daughter has written because she lived it too. Gwendlyn's book, Shadow of the Patriarch, is no longer just a memoir. It has become a symbol of a generational shift. It represents the moment the children of the Brown family took back their own narrative. Kody and Robyn's desperate attempts to suppress it have only proven how much they have to hide. They have inadvertently confirmed that every word Gwendlyn has written is true. When this book hits the shelves, it will be the final, definitive chapter of the Sister Wives saga as we know it. It will expose the rot at the foundation of the family, vindicate the wives who left, and give a voice to the children who were silenced for far too long. Kody Brown built his kingdom on a carefully constructed image. Now his own daughter is the one who is going to burn it all to the ground with the one weapon he can't fight: the truth. So the big question is, when this book comes out, will you be buying it? And who do you think will be the most damaged by its revelations? Let me know everything in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on COCO Gossip, where the truth always comes out. For 13 years, she was the forgotten wife. The loyal first, relegated to the sidelines, living in a platonic, loveless marriage while her husband built a new life with another woman. We watched Meri Brown endure a decade of public humiliation, emotional neglect, and profound loneliness. She waited for a man who would never come back to her. Well, tonight, the wait is over, but it's not Kody Brown who's come knocking. Sources incredibly close to Meri have just confirmed the bombshell news that fans have been praying for. Meri Brown is engaged. She has found love with a man who is, by all accounts, the complete opposite of Kody, and she is finally getting her happily ever after. We have the exclusive details on the mystery man who has captured her heart, the private and romantic proposal that left her in tears of joy, and the seismic shockwaves this news has sent through the fractured Brown family. Because while Christine and Janelle are celebrating, Kody and Robyn are said to be in a state of absolute turmoil. This isn't just news to them, it's a threat. Meri's happiness is the one thing they never saw coming, and it has triggered a meltdown of epic proportions. Before we introduce you to Meri's new fiance and expose the jealous, panicked reactions from Kody and Robyn, do me a huge favor. If you believe in second chances, hit that like button for Meri and make sure you are subscribed to COCO Gossip with the notification bell on, because this story is a game changer. Now let's talk about the engagement that has blown the Sister Wives universe wide open. So who is the man who finally healed Meri Brown's broken heart? Forget the reality TV world. Meri's new fiancé is a man completely outside of the chaotic Brown family orbit. His name is reportedly John, a successful and respected architect from outside of Utah, known for his quiet confidence and integrity. He's in his 50s, established, and described as a genuinely good man who had no idea who Meri was when they first met. And how did they meet? It's a story straight out of a Hallmark movie. It wasn't on a dating app or through a setup. He was reportedly a guest at her beloved bed and breakfast, Lizzie's Heritage Inn. He was traveling for a project and fell in love with the historic charm of the inn. They struck up a conversation about old homes and business, and a spark was ignited. It was slow, it was organic, and most importantly, it was real. For months, they maintained a long-distance friendship, building a foundation of trust and respect before romance ever entered the picture. For Meri, who has been starved of genuine emotional connection for so long, this was everything. He wasn't interested in her fame, he was interested in her. The proposal itself was the polar opposite of the performative, camera-ready moments of her past life. It was reportedly incredibly private and deeply personal. He took her back to Parowan, Utah, the town where her B&B is, the place that represents her independence and her own personal success. He didn't do it with a TLC camera crew in sight. He did it because he genuinely wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. And what has this new love done for Meri? We've all seen the transformation. The Meri of today is vibrant. She's confident. She's traveling, laughing, and her entire demeanor has changed. She is no longer defined by Kody's rejection. She is a woman who is cherished and adored, and it shows. Of course, the first people she shared the news with were her true sisters, Christine and Janelle. Their reaction? Pure, unadulterated joy. Sources say there were happy tears and champagne toasts. Christine, who knows the joy of finding love after Kody, is said to be over the moon, and is already helping Meri brainstorm wedding ideas. Janelle is thrilled to see her friend, who she's known since they were young women, finally get the happiness she has always deserved. This engagement has solidified the OG3 wives bond in a way that nothing else could. They are her ride-or-die supporters. But on the other side of the family fence, in the million-dollar mansion on the hill, the reaction wasn't joy. It was a cold, bitter cocktail of shock, jealousy, and fear. To understand the reaction from Kody and Robyn, you have to understand that in their minds, Meri was never supposed to actually leave. She was supposed to remain in their orbit forever. A loyal, sad satellite they could count on for a TLC storyline and a sense of their own importance. Her finding real, committed love doesn't just disrupt their narrative, it destroys it. Let's be very clear. Kody Brown is not sad that Meri is gone. He is enraged that she has replaced him. Kody's reaction has been one of pure narcissistic injury. He is reportedly framing this as an act of ultimate disloyalty, not to him as a husband, but to the eternal family covenant. Expect to hear him spout spiritual rhetoric about how she's abandoning her eternal salvation and throwing away our family legacy for some guy. He will make this about God, about the family, about anything other than the real issue: his bruised ego. For over a decade, he has been able to hold power over Meri by being the one who rejected her. He was in control. Now she has taken that power back. She is the one who has moved on. She has a new man, a new life, and she doesn't need Kody's approval for anything. He is no longer the center of her universe, and he can't stand it. A source close to the situation says Kody has been making passive-aggressive comments, asking things like, "Does this guy know what he's getting into?" And, "I wonder how long this will last." It's a pathetic attempt to regain control by casting doubt on her happiness. He can't be happy for her because her happiness proves he was the problem all along. Robyn's reaction is more complex and far more manipulative. On the surface, she will perform a show of tearful happiness. We will absolutely see her on the next season of Sister Wives, wiping away a tear and saying, "I just want her to be happy. I've always wanted her to be happy." But don't be fooled. Our sources say that behind the scenes, Robyn is panicking. Why? First, Meri's engagement proves that happiness exists outside of the Brown family, and specifically outside of Kody. This is a direct threat to Robyn's narrative that she was the one who saved Kody and that their life is the ideal one. Christine leaving was a blow. Meri finding a better man is a confirmation that the entire plural marriage was a sham. Second, it's a financial and emotional blow. Meri, for all their issues, was still a cast member of Sister Wives. She was part of the brand. Her B&B storyline, her loneliness, it was all content that fueled the show and, by extension, funded Robyn's lifestyle. A happy, independent, engaged Meri has a storyline that no longer involves or benefits Kody and Robyn. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it severs the final tie. As long as Meri was single, there was always a chance she might need them, a chance she might come back into the fold for holidays or family events. Robyn could still play the role of the compassionate sister wife. Now Meri has a new partner, a new family focus. She has no reason to engage with Robyn at all. Robyn has lost her last link to the original family structure she claims to have mourned for so long. This engagement isn't just a happy event. It's the final nail in the coffin of the original Brown family. It's Meri's declaration that she is not just a survivor of a failed marriage. She is the star of her own love story now. And Kody Brown is nothing more than a bitter, forgotten character in her past. Meri Brown waited a lifetime for a man to truly see her and love her for who she is. It turns out, she just had to leave the one who couldn't. What do you think Kody's first on-camera words will be about the engagement? Let me know your predictions in the comments. Thank you for joining me on COCO Gossip.